What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Confessions of a Fitness Coach. I'm your host, Coach Danielle Collette. Thanks for listening today. Today's guest is Allie Diamond. Coach Allie, she's a head coach at OrangeTheory Fitness in Largo in Florida. So welcome, Coach Allie. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Coach Danielle.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What did you do prior to getting into fitness?
Yeah, it's a good question. Interestingly enough, before I got into fitness, at least career-wise, I was a hairstylist.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I always tell people I think that's kind of where I really discovered my passion for people.
Yeah.
The artistry of it wasn't necessarily where my passion lied, but it fell within, making people feel good about themselves, the ability to turn their day around and all of that. I think I had to go through all of that in order to discover later a different way that I could help people in a way that I was more passionate about.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with fitness?
Yeah, within my own personal journey or career-wise?
I guess I would like to hear both, actually. Both stories would be great.
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand, to be honest. I was an athlete my entire life. I was a swimmer. So I swam from the age of 5 to 19. And when I quit swimming, I was completely burnt out. That was the only sport I ever did my entire life. Quit swimming, or I like to say I retired from the sport. And then I kind of just lost my way in fitness. I realized that if I didn't have a coach telling me to swim laps up and down a pool, I didn't know how to work out.
Yeah.
Then I struggled for a few years, gaining weight, losing weight, getting into fitness again. It never worked out because I never had a set plan. I never really knew quite what I was doing. And then around the same time that I started working in a spa right above a fitness center, was kind of the time where I was like, I had to walk through this fitness center every single day. And I was like, at 25, I was like, enough is enough. I'm sick of feeling this way. And I just started running. That was all I knew how to do. Run, swim, So I started getting that, and I finally took a lot of weight off. And I still wasn't happy with my body. I just looked skinny. And then a few months later, however long after there, I actually got invited to an OrangeTheory class. And that was the first time that I really picked up a dumbbell, was instructed on how to use it, and then really the rest is history. That was love at first sight, lifting weights. And, then after there, I joined the local Crunch Fitness, got under a barbell, and here I am.
That is so cool. So how did you become the head coach at OrangeTheory Largo? What was that process for you?
Yeah. Well, I started, obviously that was where, a huge passion lied within OrangeTheory. When I became a trainer, that was something always in the back of my head that I wanted to do. And I can sit here and say it was the right place and the right time. Yes, maybe. But it really was. When I walked into those doors, that's what they were searching for. And I felt like I, fit the role there, and I love the culture of that studio. And honestly, Danielle, it's just a blessing. I'm just happy that they would have me in that.
Isn't it the freaking best job ever? I love it.
The best job ever. I love my job every day.
It's so rewarding just seeing people's day get made every day. It's so awesome.
It is.
And being able to achieve more and more every day is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's awesome. We both kind of met working at sister OTF properties. I work in Palm Harbor. You work in Largo. We actually haven't even met in person yet.
I know.
We both need to take each other's classes. I need to make my way over there. I have been to Largo. I love that studio. The members are really great there. I actually subbed there one time. It was really cool. But what I think we both connected on the most was just both of our passion for fitness and also for helping people and motivating people, and our passion in that industry. So I think that's why we were both kind of drawn to each other. So that's why I really, really wanted to do the interview with you today. And another thing that really, really drew me to you is how authentic you are. You have like thousands and thousands of followers on Instagram, and you post stories, and hair done, hair not done, makeup, no makeup, just woke up, doesn't matter. You post who you are 24/7. You're always genuine. And I really enjoy that about you. I love watching your stories. I love keeping up with you. And I just think that it's amazing that you could be yourself and genuine and honest. And it doesn't matter if you're happy or sad, and you just kind of put it all out there, and it's just pretty
Yeah.
amazing. And I kind of thought about doing that myself, but it kind of makes me nervous sometimes.
Yeah.
So what 3 tips would you give to any influencer or a coach to practice being more authentic to their following? Like, what do
Yeah.
you think is?
Wow. I mean, that's a great question. I would definitely just say that, in general, I think authenticity is relatable to
Yeah.
everyone. When you're relatable like that to people, you earn their trust. And you can't really do that. You can sit there and say all the inspiring things that you want, but if you don't mean it and it's not coming from the heart, people read it when it's disingenuous. And I don't think a lot of people relate to perfect. I mean, just like anybody else, I follow these girls on Instagram too that are, perfect. Seems like they got it all going on, but ultimately the women that I relate to are the ones that share their struggles, and that's who I always wanted to portray. Like my story, there's sad parts of my story, but there's also happy parts of my story, and I just think that people relate to that and want to read that. I think that's authenticity. If that answers your questions, I don't know if that was,
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's great.
yeah, but
That's
yeah.
great. So I was peeping your Insta, and I seen that you competed as a bodybuilder, like you did bikini competitions.
Mhm.
Was that something you enjoyed doing?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, absolutely. Gave me, an amazing goal to see through, and I made myself really proud that I was able to be so dedicated and focused to something like that. Yeah, yeah. At the time, it was definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What advice do you have for someone looking to try to compete as a bodybuilder? So if somebody was kind of looking to
yeah,
maybe start it, like what kind of ideas would you have for them or advice?
yeah. I mean, the first and possibly the only piece of advice I would really give, just because I think it's a very personal thing. It's all about your body. So I would say if you're looking to compete, you have to love your body before you compete. If you're a lot, I feel like many women look to compete because they're like, I want to achieve that. I want to look like that. It's not a sustainable body, that you will achieve on stage that day. So if you're already in a place where you're not really comfortable with where you are right now, don't do it. Wait.
Gotcha. That's a great advice.
Yeah, it's a very emotional experience. So you need to be 100% before you dive into that.
Yeah, so like the diet isn't completely manageable or maintainable. It's not like
Yeah.
it's
Um,
not something you want to do all year long, every day of your life. It's just something you kind of prep for in the moment.
yeah, manageable, yes. With discipline, certainly maintainable. And of course, I'm just speaking my opinion and my experience. Maintainable, not in my experience. It's pretty
Yeah, not your
restricted,
own.
especially at the end there. It's very, very restricted.
Yeah, that's awesome. So was it worth it to you to compete for bodybuilding, the experience and the learning? Like, was it all just glitz and glamour, or was it super hard work and sacrifice, or was it a little bit of a both?
Yeah, that's another good question. Worth it to me? Absolutely. I learned so much about myself, like good things and bad things, trust me. Um, I would say the glitz and the glam is the tiniest and smallest portion of it, despite what's portrayed. There's definitely a secret world in there, and some huge, and again, just speaking to my experience, I personally became a little obsessed, checking myself in the mirror every day, stepping on the scale, making sure my numbers and my macros and all of that. So I feel like that's part of the little world that's not necessarily told. The glitz
Yeah,
and glam is a very small, very short-lived portion of it, and all anyone sees is, oh my gosh, look at this girl. She looks amazing, best conditioning of her life, beautiful bikini, hair done, makeup. But what they don't see is that I'm dehydrated. I am starving. I am probably going to binge on 2 pizzas the second I'm off the stage.
oh my God.
Yeah, so it's, but all of those things, allow me to relate better, I suppose, to clients now, all of those experiences.
For
So
sure. That's why I thought that was a really, really important question, because anybody looking to get into it might just see the outside from the surface, but not realize, how much
Absolutely.
sacrifice, how much hard work really goes into that.
Yes.
So that's amazing. Speaking of just kind of fitness in general, you are booty goals, girl. Like seriously, what are your favorite go-to booty exercises? Like, what is your go-to at the gym?
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty old school. I believe that the basics freaking work. I am not one to get like super, super creative. I am a hip thrusting and deadlifting queen.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes. And you gotta eat to grow too, So I feel like, if you're in a deficit, you can't be looking to put on any size. So I think people don't necessarily always realize that as well.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of that, what advice would you give to a listener who is struggling to keep their protein intake up? Like, how do you make sure that you're getting enough protein? What do you eat, take to supplement?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a really good question as well. For a while, I feel like I was like super, super strict on that and supplementing. I personally don't take any supplements anymore. I just make sure I get in the right amount of protein for my body weight, and I personally just do that by portioning it all out throughout the day, in meals. Some days I get it, some days I don't. Again, I used to be very obsessed with that, and on the days that I don't now, I don't sweat it. I just get back to work the next day. But keeping higher protein snacks too is always good for somebody who feels like that's a struggle.
Yeah, that's true. Do you ever struggle with sweets? And if so, in what ways do you practice moderation or sugars and snacks?
Oh yes, I am the queen of desserts. Like I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. But what helps me the most is not having it in my apartment. If I buy Oreos, all right, and I can tell myself I'm gonna buy these, I'm gonna have a couple a day, maybe a couple a week. No way, they're all gonna be gone. Like you have to know yourself, well enough to say, don't keep it here. Go out once a week and treat yourself, whatever. But for me, that's what works the best is out of sight, out of mind.
Absolutely. You're not going to go driving to Publix to go get them in the middle of the night when you're craving them. You might, but
Yeah,
you're less likely. But if they're in your refrigerator or they're in your cabinet, you're going to go reach for them for sure.
exactly.
And then
Exactly.
that whole box will probably be gone. You're
Exactly.
like, I'm just going to have 3.
Yeah.
And then you have the whole box. That's
It's
struggles real. So being a trainer, as we both are, we have crazy schedules and we always have to make sure to keep our meals ready on the go. So what kind of 3 tips or just any kinds of tips that you would have for anybody eating on the go? So what do
yeah.
you mainly try to do?
Yeah. I mean, I just tell everyone be prepared or prepare to fail. I mean, really it's as simple as that. And your meals don't have to be complex or anything of the sorts. I don't spend, a ton of money on food. I don't hire this big meal prep company. I just like keep things on hand. Because if I know, again, know yourself, I know if I don't eat for a 5-hour span and I've been working and I haven't eaten food, I am going to stop at McDonald's on the way home. But if I have that food ready and to go, I'm good. So it's, just a matter of keeping it around, being prepared.
That's true. That's very true. Um, how do you keep healthier foods with you so you don't binge on the go? Do you just kind of like go to the store, grab a snack, or do you just kind of make sure you go to Costco and get a whole load and then just plan it out for the week? What
Yeah.
would you recommend for somebody to do?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ideally I would buy in bulk, and have that, but I know that's like not always an option. So I guess, knowing somewhere that you can stop, if you're really in a pinch and on the go, knowing somewhere that you can stop or, researching the calories and whatnot before you choose something would be an option as well. But
That's a good option for sure.
having stuff is always better for me.
Absolutely. So what are 3 things someone should do after a 1 hour sweat sesh? So
Yeah.
like, what do you do after you get done working out?
Yeah, yeah. Me personally, always make sure I'm, rehydrating. I try to eat, as soon as I possibly can afterwards as well, and try to rest. I feel like we leave that out of the equation often, especially for people like you and I that are busy, busy all the time. But I do think like allowing your body to recover is just like as important, as the workout itself, to be honest.
For sure. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about like gym etiquette too. So I know it
Mhm.
wasn't really on our script.
Yeah, you're gonna
So
catch me off guard here.
Well, I mean, we both kind of work. We can just talk like just you and me. It's just me and you. We're chatting about gym etiquette. Like,
All right.
what is the number one thing that you can't stand when members do? And I'm only asking this because I had a member in my class today go, are you going to do an episode on things you can't stand that we do? Because I really think we should know.
Perfect. We got 2 OrangeTheory coaches right here, right now.
Like mainly like safety, not like things that are like, oh, I can't stand when this person does that,
Right,
but just
right.
like safety things. What is something that happens to you all the time?
Oh my gosh. Don't hop on the rails when the treadmill is moving.
Oh my God, I know.
Members know by now, though, that I will come up and pop that stop button on them. But that definitely, as far as safety goes, that's my biggest one, because we've all seen someone fall off the treadmill. Not a good way to start the day, that's for sure. But yeah, that would be probably my number one.
My third day ever coaching, somebody hopped off the treadmill and like must have went to the bathroom or something, left their treadmill running 6 miles an hour. The girl, well, the girl next to that treadmill wanted my attention. She called me over and I stepped on it. Didn't notice it was moving because the music was loud. Yeah, busted my butt right on the microphone. I said, oh shit, as I was going down on the mic. I got up like nothing was wrong. Everything's okay, guys. Let's get going. They were all freaking out.
You from that day forward, because real is real. Oh my gosh, Danielle, that is a new coach's worst nightmare.
Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. Like my wrist was all jacked up. I was like,
there's no recovering either. And you get up like you're not hurt at all, but you are.
I think it was just the adrenaline. So that's why. So yeah, no jumping the rails. And what that means is when you're running on the treadmill, instead of hitting your stop button, you just step on the sides. Like your foot can get clipped on the side as that treadmill's going fast. You fly right off the back.
We have seen crazy.
Another one that I think is huge is when we're demoing and people just are having a conversation in the corner or being loud. Like, I think it's just rude to the other people that are trying to learn or wanting to know what's going on. Absolutely. So what do you do whenever somebody does that in your class?
Yeah, I pretty much give them the stink eye. It's a known fact that Yes. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it can be rude because, you'll have your veterans in the class, but then you'll also have people who are brand new. And, honestly, even me as a coach, and I'm sure it's the same for you, when you take another coach's class, supposedly we know it all, right? We're coaches. No way. When I take another coach's class and listen, I learn something new every single time. You can't assume you know.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I mean, completely. If they want to talk after the demo's done, then talk along during your time when I see during your block, take away from that. But, I think it's super important to make sure you pay attention. That way, you know what's going on. And it's always the people that weren't paying attention that are the first, what are we doing? How did the block go?
100%. And that's when you turn up the music and say, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no. We love you guys still.
They know, and those that are listening know who they are.
That's awesome. So you're also a fitness nutrition specialization as well. You have that certification with NASM. Have you done much with that?
Not much in other than, I'm able to more confidently advise, in nutrition. But I wouldn't say still that that's necessarily my forte. I would love to get more into that eventually, possibly go back to school, but yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. So other than everything else we already talked about, what's your favorite part about being OrangeTheory coach?
Oh gosh, girl. Yeah. I mean, it really all ties in, with just the ability to touch a life every single day. Like, I'm sure it's the same for you. Our days are long. They're exhausting. I spend, 6 out of 7 days a week, like with no voice. I'm sure my voice is always hoarse. I am just physically and emotionally drained at the end of every day. But I lay my head on that pillow and I'm like, Allie, you did good, girl. Like, it was another great day. And I wake up and repeat the same day with the same heart and the same passion. And I don't know about you, Danielle, but I never had that with any other career. So it's just as much as, people will say, oh, you've changed my life. Well, they've changed mine too.
100%. That's how I feel as well. It's really changed my life as well. Getting to watch these people do things they never thought they could do. I mean, I just seen my mom. My mom started OrangeTheory just recently. Well, now it's been probably about 4 months. She's lost quite a bit of weight. She's lost like maybe 30 or something pounds.
Awesome.
But like my mom never ran before. She's freaking running like 6 miles an hour.
Give me chills.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, it's crazy. She was doing upright rows with 20-pound dumbbells in my class. I was like, what? Get it, Mom. I was just like, it's amazing. And then I have a 69-year-old lady in my other studio. She's running at 8 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour, crushing it, doing push-ups, burpees, never ask for a modification. People don't understand what they're capable of. Some people just hold themselves back so much, and they don't realize what they embody and what they could do if they actually just channeled it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's any point in my life when I have truly followed my heart, my passion, and believed in myself, it's always paid off and I've always succeeded, and you're 100% right. And being a part of that with people every single day is just incredible. That's what we get to do for a living.
I know. I wake up, sometimes I look to my fiance, I'm like,
yeah,
how did I even get to do this? This is amazing.
Chills. I know.
I get chills too. Oh my, I got chills right now.
No, it's the same. And unless you live your passion, you will never understand that feeling. I used to hear people say, oh, I love my job. And I was like, you don't love it. Nobody loves their job.
I know. I used to think that too.
Right. And now I feel like a jerk forever thinking that, because I'm that butthead now that's like, I love my job so much.
I know. It's so funny. I coached a blind man the other day.
Did you? How did
he was blind on the treadmill running. He was holding on to the sides, but he was able to run.
Oh,
I was blown away, gave me chills, made me cry during class. And then I have another lady. She's like metal from her side of her hip all the way down her leg. She's running on the treadmill, killing it. She tries to not ask for modifications, but sometimes I have to go over her and be like, you need something different? She just plays it every time. She's just amazing. Just what we get to do and seeing people grow is just awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So let's end it with your favorite quote. What quote would you like to leave us with?
Gosh, well, this will follow this perfectly. But one thing that always repeats in my head, you are entirely up to you. And it's so true. If you put your mind to it, it's yours. End of story.
A wise man once said, you can do it, put your back into it. That man was Ice Cube. You were so thinking I was going to be super sentimental. Really ready for this long drawn out quote that was going to make you move.
What did? I mean,
I say that to members sometimes and they think the same thing. And then I just make them laugh. And then I play the song.
Sometimes you got to be able to laugh while you're working out. Otherwise,
oh my God. If you don't laugh, then
you're
doing it wrong. Well, guys, thanks so much for listening. You can catch Coach Allie at OrangeTheory Fitness in Largo, Florida. So if you ever go in, say hi to her. She's got a great thing going on there. Allie, if anybody wants to find you, where can they find you? Social media?
Yeah, my handle on Instagram is @AllieCat_fit, and then Allie Diamond, ALLY, and Diamond like the stone on Facebook.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys all mean the world to me. Please make sure to subscribe. Leave a review. It would make my freaking day. Share this episode with your friends on social media as well. And please find me at Coach Danielle Collette. 2 L's, 2 T's with that. And thanks for listening to Confessions of a Fitness Coach. I'm your host, Coach Danielle Collette, and I'll catch you later. Go make today your bitch, guys.